There are many reasons why you self-sabotage, why you can't sustain a weight loss, or why you cannot lose weight. So I'm going to take an unorthodox approach to helping you to dig a little deep into your own thought process and into your own behavior as to why you self-sabotage and cannot move forward to accomplish this particular goal, which we're going to call weight loss or success in gaining better health. I am Celeste Mumford. I've gone through this process myself. I lost over 50 pounds in 5.5 months. This was over 4 years ago. I have sustained the weight loss. Don't have cheat days, don't believe in moderation, don't count calories. But one thing I did do, which is key, well, I did a couple key things, but we're going to talk about some of this today. And my goal is to help challenge you to challenge yourself. Now, I typically come from a biblical perspective. If you are a born-again believer, you're going to understand the stories I'm going to tell. I'm not going to go into scripture. I'm not going to go into chapter and verse because this is for everybody, believer or not. I want everybody can get something out of what I'm going to say if you choose to get something out of what I'm going to say. So today is the perfect day, Resurrection Sunday, for me to talk about this one challenge that many of us have. And the story is, the scripture talks about God talking to Moses and having Moses go to Pharaoh and tell Pharaoh to let my people go. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is about the Israelites in Egypt as slaves. And there came a time when the Israelites had to make bricks, but the Egyptians did not give them the straw to make bricks. So the labor for the Israelites got harder, right? So God said to Moses, go to Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go. Now, Pharaoh is representing, let's say, the things that you eat that are keeping you stuck and in bondage, right? Because the Israelites were slaves and in bondage to Egypt and to Pharaoh. So that thing, that Egypt, that food, that mindset kept the Israelites stuck. That thing that had a hold on them would not release them. Over time, Pharaoh said, okay, we're going to let you go. So all of the Israelites are going to the promised land. The promised land is a land flowing with milk and honey. It's a place where they would be free. It's a place where the bondage would be broken and they won't be under the slave and bondage of a taskmaster. Many of us are under a taskmaster as it relates to what we eat. That thing has control over you. That thing won't let you go. That thing keeps you in bondage and coming back for more and more because you just can't be free of it. So the Israelites are free. Pharaoh lets them go. They get to the Red Sea. The Red Sea represents a couple things, right? Egypt in bondage and the taskmaster and the task getting harder. That can be like diabetes in your life getting worse and worse, getting the pain and inflammation getting worse and worse, harder for you to maneuver, harder for you to get over, right? So that could be what Egypt represents in your life, the bondage. And then there's the Red Sea. On the other side of the Red Sea is the promised land. That's your freedom. That's your ideal self. That's your higher self. That's the place where you are released from all the things that are holding you back, keeping you fat, keeping you obese, right? So there's your fatness, your obesity. There's a process in which you have to go through to get to your best self. So like the Israelites, they come to the Red Sea, and all of a sudden they forget about the heavy burden that the Egyptians had on them. They forget all about the pain and the inflammation. They get to that Red Sea, and all they remember are the leeks and the onion. They say, no, let's go back because the leeks and the onion. So see, when we're trying to go through to that promised land, to that better place, to our higher self, to our better selves, we forget about all the pain and inflammation and bloating and fat that has kept us in bondage, kept us in lack and limitation. And all we remember is the good thing. As soon as you're about to cross over, you remember that good thing. And that good thing, you want to turn back. But the thing is, when you're going forward into a promised land, you have to look forward. The Bible tells us neither look to the left nor to the right, but keep our eyes and our minds and our heart stayed on our higher calling. So, and the thing is, when they want to turn around to remember Egypt, the one or two good things, they forget about the 100 bad things, right? But the thing is, you can't just turn around and look back without your body shifting back. So when you turn around to look back, before you know it, you're going to be facing the thing that you're trying to get away from. Okay, so they get to that Red Sea. They're remembering the onion and the leek, or the garlic and the leek, whatever it was. They're forgetting about the pain, the inflammation, that they can't walk upstairs, that they're in pain and bondage. Now, the Red Sea represents a cleansing and a detoxification. It represents a purification. You cannot walk in the newness of life with the old man on you. So the Red Sea, when God opens up the Red Sea, it's for them to, it symbolizes purification, detoxification, and crossing over and going through. And see, the thing about it is, y'all don't want to go through nothing. Y'all don't want to go through the detox, the withdrawal, your face breaking out. You don't want to go through the things that are keeping you in bondage coming out. Because you'd rather go back to Egypt, right? So the Red Sea represents a cleansing, a detoxification, a purification, a crossing over, like a baptism, so to speak, right? You're going from death unto life, but you have to go through the Red Sea. So God opens up the Red Sea for them to walk through on dry land. When they get through, when they get to the other side, God closes the Red Sea, meaning physically you will not go back to Egypt, because I'm not opening the Red Sea back up for you to go back into sin, go back into gluttony, go back into eating all the things that are feeding disease in your body, right? So physically you've been removed, but mentally you're still stuck in Egypt. Sound familiar? That's when you want to have a cheat day. That's when you want to do things in moderation, because your flesh wants to go back to Egypt. Does this sound familiar to you? This is all the time I have. I'm going to do a part 2. So think about your Egypt. Think about that food that you can't live without, that's keeping you in bondage and pain and inflammation and lack and limitation and obesity and fat. Think about that, and think about crossing over to the newness of life, because that is an opportunity for you. Stay tuned for part 2.